Live action.
All right, this is Garrett. Here's my audience.
One. Bex, did you do this? Wave, Nikki. Hello. Wave.
All right. Yep. There's like.
Hello, my name is Garrett. I'm going to talk to y'all about Martin Luther King Jr. He was a very instrumental civil rights leader in the United States, starting from the mid-1950s through 1968. His most famous speech was called "I Have a Dream." In 1960, he actually presented the speech in August 28th in 1963, and then about a year after that, he won the Nobel Peace Prize for his civil rights movement and his acts that he put towards equality. His speech was basically him having a dream about equality for African Americans in the United States. African Americans have not been treated fairly since the 1860s. There was slavery. Actually, since they came to the country, there was slavery. Even after slavery was abolished in the 1860s by Abraham Lincoln, they still weren't treated fairly. They were still kind of like segregated. They were pushed to the side. They were forced to use different water fountains. They were segregated in pretty much every sense of the word. They had different schools and everything. And Martin Luther King's speech, it really, I guess it opened everyone's eyes and realized how horrible that the segregation was that was occurring. In his speech, he constantly used the phrase "I have a dream" constantly, and it was really repetitive, but it made you realize that he had a dream of equality. Equality was very important in his eyes and everyone else's, especially the African Americans, since they weren't treated as equals. I was looking through the analysis from several different writers, and it just it stuck out to me because I noticed the same things they did when they were analyzing the speeches. For instance, Stevie Edwards from Presentation Magazine, he discussed how the voice and body motions that Martin Luther King did in the speech, it just added so much emotion, which it was an emotionally driven speech, obviously, because it was talking about rights and what they weren't treated fairly. I mean, a very emotional speech. Edwards also said that the main point was obviously that all men were created equal, which was a big deal because no one actually saw it that way at that time, which is ridiculous to me. And as I read another analysis from Richard Green on the Huffington Post, he wrote it on August 28, 2013, which is ironically the 50th year anniversary of the speech. He was analyzing it on a plane trip, and the speech actually brought him to tears while he was analyzing it. That really touched me because it was such an emotional speech, and it kind of made me emotional when I watched it. Green also stated that it was a flawless speech, which, I mean, that's a huge compliment. To call anything flawless is basically calling it perfect, which is insane. And not only did it change that time period, it has changed the course of American history entirely. I still see the effects today. Honestly, I still see the racism at times. I still see inequality, but not near to the extreme that it was back then. And it's great. I love it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to talk to you about Martin Luther King and how great his speech was. Thank you.